What's up, what's up? Hey, on this episode of More Than Money, I wanted to make it more about what was said. I did an incredible interview with Tom Bilyeu at Impact Theory, and some of what came out was just raw and real, and I thought it was so important for you to see. You know, sometimes we get really cinematic. I have an incredible team building great videos, and other times it's just about the content, and I'm really excited for you to see it, so check it out.
All right, today's guest is a ridiculously successful real estate entrepreneur who took himself from a childhood full of crippling poverty to building a mega multi-million-dollar empire. Help me in welcoming the best-selling author of Millionaire Success Habits, Dean Graziosi.
Good to be here, man. Thank you. Thank you. That guy sounded awesome you were just talking about.
He is awesome. You're going to love him. I can't wait for you two to meet.
Awesome.
So, man, I want to know, like, it is crazy to me growing up, living in a trailer park, living in a bathroom with your dad for a year. It's pretty crazy. How do you go from that while still in your teens to beginning a really just incredible entrepreneurial journey?
So in 10th grade, I decided I wasn't going to college. Wasn't that smart, had dyslexia, family didn't have money, none of my family ever went to college. I just wanted out of school. So my dad owned a collision shop. It was called Paul Graziosi Auto Body. And he never made more than 30 grand a year. I told you, he worked really hard, but not profitable, just worked hard. So my dad said, if you're not gonna go to college, I'll make you a 25% partner in the collision shop in 11th grade if you can get out by 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock, I start, 11th and 12th grade, I took like ceramic, gym, and English, and I was out, and I was at the collision shop. So in 11th grade, in this little town I grew up of 8,000 people, a little town called Marlboro, New York, the collision shop sign, he switched it, and it became Paul and Dean Auto Body. And I'm like, that was huge for me. And I worked like my dad did. I hustled. I went there at 11 o'clock. I worked every night. And my dad was like, hey, our business is doing better because of you. I was better with the clients. I was better. I brought more people in. I hustled. So now all my friends are going off to college or going into what they're doing. Like, you're not going to college? I'm like, no, I got this collision shop. Like, I felt like a little sense of pride, like I was making movement. And by then I was giving my mom some money. I was giving my grandmother some money, and had this evolution. I felt good. So about 2 years out of high school, my dad goes through his 4th divorce, and it hits him really hard. And it hit him so hard that he checked out. And he said, hey, I'm not going back to the collision shop. I'm not paying the rent. It's done. And I was like, at that phase of my life, Tom, I was embarrassed more than anything. Like, I remember that point because I was like, I'm not going to college, but I own Paul and Dean Auto Body with my dad. And it was like in my head, not realizing I'm 20 nothing, I'm like, life's over. I have no money in the bank. Life is just screwed. And I started telling myself that story. And I lost the spark I had had since I was about 12. Like since 12, I'm like, I'm not that smart, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And I lost it. And I'm going to friends like, hey, if your dad or anybody you know needs their car fixed, I'm doing it out of my garage. And I know my friends are like, But I remember being in there and saying to myself, like, what the hell am I doing telling myself this crap? Like, if I feel this way, I'm gonna be my dad. And I remember at that moment, I changed the story and I started thinking to myself, and it didn't happen overnight. So this is what I wanna encourage you. When you find the bad story, find a way to just reverse the whole thing. I'm like, no. Because I don't have a college degree, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna do this. Because I was always small, I'm gonna do this. Because I have no money, I'm gonna do this. Because my friends think I can't, I'm gonna do this. And all of a sudden, I started changing this story, not overnight, but over weeks. It became my empowering story. I wasn't looking at a deficit. I'm like, screw you guys. You think I'm not gonna do this because I don't have what you have? I'm gonna blow right past you, whether that's a good thought or not. At the time, it served me. What stands between us and where we wanna go is never what we think it is. It's not the economy, it's not the president, it's not that somebody already dominated the health food industry or dominated Facebook advertising or dominated TV advertising or there's no room left. It's never that. It's always the story we tell ourselves on why we can't achieve that. Find what that story is and think that story, those 2 sentences, is the thing holding you back. Do you really want to give that story that much power? We're going to be 90 laying in a bed looking up like before we know it. And do you want to think I squeezed all I could out of life, or did I let just beliefs that other people gave me hold me back? And then the other thing too is there's a balance between just making money or furthering your business and also knowing internally what your definition of success is. there might be something that makes you a lot of money, but it robs your soul. So there's that balance, and I think that doesn't happen. Oh, that doesn't happen in your 20s, and maybe not in your 30s. At least it didn't for me. I was just fighting to be successful in my 20s and 30s. But at this phase, I wish someone would have grabbed me at 25 and said, "You're going to make all the money you want. You'll have all the success you want. Make sure your soul is aligned with that money."